Incoming enemies. Prepare for conflict. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Amazing! I hope you like your reward. I just knew you'd find something you'd like.
Master, we are not alone.
prices are fair here. Ain't got shit. Much obliged, stranger.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
piece of non-meat. Kind of big body SMG turret. It's pretty pricey though.
A sale is a sale, even if it's to a scumbag like you. Howdy.
Incoming enemies. Prepare for conflict.
Safe travels. ask for you, friend. No matter what, I'm grateful for everything you've done.
I've got a bad feeling about this. I've got a bad feeling about this. Incoming enemies. Prepare for conflict. I've got a bad feeling about this. My senses have picked up something.
So, wait, no. Oh, yeah, switch to Lana. When you let her sound things. So, if you look.
I can do introducing decimals, fractions. I don't want to learn decimals, no thank you. I'm not doing decimals ever. Ever.
You need to do decimals. That's how you do money.
Money.
Multiplying by 10, 100, and then brackets. Roll it down and multiply.
I'm not going to multiply by ones.
Um, 13 times 10.
Oh, you said 100.
10, 100, so 100. Multiply 13 times 100.
And 3?
Okay, so clearly you need to do this. Not a big deal. It's getting one done. So you click on that one. And I told you.
I don't know the usual like that.
And then it says watch the 2 intro videos. So
I don't
see
like
where it
this.
says yeah. So see where it says intro 0 by 2. These are the 2 intro videos. Click on it. And click on it. And then go down and do the practice problems. do is let's go down here. This is practice pad. It's going to go down.
7. 7 day, okay.
Oh, thank God.
Who said that was wrong? It was 1,007
Oh, I thought that's like 7. Yeah, I thought they thought it was 7,000. So anyways, yeah, that's what let's go down and do the pad.
In the direction.
So
9 times 40.
so and then these right here are some examples lessons, and it's like these right here. Like if you watch the videos I told you, and you still need help, you can click on any of these extra videos. Just
Is that the same girl I got on track?
there's no reason not to like her.
With her? Sure. That one snagging. I can
Master, we are not alone.
It's the chin, that's weird. He doesn't have a beard.
Oh, that's bad. Yes, she does.
Mommy does.
Well, mommy's trying to show you this concept all year long, and you're still not getting it. So clearly, you need somebody else to show you. I think that this would be helpful because, like, watch this. She has this cool cover.
Tell us what it is.
My senses have picked up something. Master, we are not alone.
Look at that. And you said she's not a good teacher. You got it right. You're just one lesson. Easy enough, right?
What's going on?
Study part. One sec, now let's just click.
Your Xbox. And then if you swipe up, it says transfer to Xbox right here. So you want to go ahead and transfer to Xbox. And then it's going to take you to the Xbox. Kick it off. Transfer please. People, please consider leaving a like. It would mean a lot to me. And transfer whatever you want. Welcome back. So, welcome back. So now that you have linked your Discord account onto your Xbox,
Or you just.
What up?
nothing much. Chilling, playing 7 days to die.
Alright, go take your shower.
You didn't even do so. You don't want to. Take the shower.
She usually just
You're rude, Cameron. I called Cameron and he kept on declining, and then I called him again, and he put himself on death and on do not disturb, so that way he doesn't have to hear me. Who you on with, Cam? Why was you doing like a fall.
Howdy. Well earned, traveler. Well earned. Be seeing you. Peace be with you, my friend.
Didn't know it could do that. Shit, 90,000.
Come back tomorrow. We get new goods daily. Do you think you can help me with a problem? No need to apologize. I'll check my other sources. I really admire you, friend, and that's why I'm asking you for a helping hand. Well, there's always tomorrow. I'm in a little predicament. God bless you, and good luck.
What's up, Rich? No, no, Rich. What the fuck?
Are you thinking I'm rich?
No. I heard something pop off and I thought it was Rich joining the server.
Mom,
My senses have picked up something.
can you do me a favor? Dry the sheets. Why? Why not?
Alright, that sounded more like it. Yep.
Hey, can you hear me?
What's up, Rich?
Oh shit. Hey, what's going on, man?
Not a whole
Don't mind me, man. I'm just trying to get shit set up here. Yeah, I can plug that in. Oh, hey, Deb's sitting next to me, by the way, if you wanted to say hi to her.
What up, Debbie?
Incoming enemies.
Hey,
Prepare for
Wayne.
conflict.
Long
Good,
time.
how have you been?
I've
Alright, same.
It's been a stressful year. Let's just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm one new manager over at the new Pizza Hut in Olean.
Nice.
No,
Congratulations.
gonna pay the bills, so.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll be doing her training over in Bradford next, all this week.
I gotta take the son to guitar practice tomorrow, but after that, I'm off.
Oh, nice. Hey, whereabouts are you guys living nowadays? Because, man, I know we gotta come chill sometime, you know?
We're still on Russell Boulevard. Same place you guys seen before.
I know where
Okay, alright, well.
you are. Go stalking.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm trying to get a full pack here. Because Deb's heading down with her sister in about 20 and watching a movie, so I'm just trying to get everything situated here.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Might have to go do that myself.
No, you know, like I got a couple different games that I like to play, but it always seems like no matter what the mood that I'm in, Warframe is one of those games where I can kind of come back to play and kind of chill.
Right, dude? Yeah. I got decently far into it on PlayStation.
Oh man,
Just one like random guy to play with, so
man, technically this is not. Didn't really play that much. This is like my third time like starting over in this game now. So like time I had it on Xbox and I spent probably like 2.5 years developing that account and I spent quite a bit of money on it too. And
Yeah, I
then,
remember you were buying the Prime Access, and that was what, $60 back then. It's like fucking 150 now.
no, it's 70, 75, something like that. But yeah, it has gone. But then I had my PlayStation account, which I promised I wouldn't buy nearly as much, so I earned a lot more. And I think I only spent maybe like 20 or 30 bucks total. So I didn't think it was that bad, and that was more just to kind of give me a hand up so I could get like certain mods that I knew were going to take me a very, very long time to get. And
Master,
then
we are not
by
alone.
the time I got the Xbox, right, like I hadn't logged into it in probably 3 or 4 years. But I had my account on my buddy's console. But because I hadn't logged into it so long, it made me re-log in. And thankfully, because, you know, I mean, on a security standpoint, having your password be the same over multiple platforms and for like 20 different things is not a great idea. But when it comes to convenience,
Right, dude?
But when it comes to convenience, though, it makes
Right, dude?
the password that I used 4 years ago, you know, pretty easy.
Well, any of his passwords, just ask me.
Well, it sounds like it's all the same one.
It's one of two. Okay.
Pretty much, it's one of two.
I'm similar myself.
An older one, it's one of three.
Yeah, all right. If it's one starting around 2016, then all right, it could be like one of three passwords.
Yeah, I know, right? You're telling him that he's like, man, you're gonna be so easy to hack.
I would be too.
I would be too, don't feel bad.
All mine are different. That's why I'm like, shit. Figure out how to
Yeah,
remember.
how hard is that to remember, though?
But see, no one's gonna steal my shit because they're gonna look at mine and go, man, this dude's got like 6 things in collection. His credit score is only like a fucking 480. What do we have to gain from this guy?
They have to build your credit up to rob you.
for real. For reals.
Same here, so don't feel bad. No, I don't even know what my credit is. I haven't even looked at it in years.
I don't want to know what mine is anymore.
You know what mine is? Because.
Okay, wait, all right. So from memory, when you say you guys are at the same place where I remember last, right now, is that
Behind
you guys?
Perkins.
Oh, okay, behind Perkins. Okay.
Yep.
So all right, yeah. For a
Okay,
quick
I'm
sec.
sorry, Mama Jane. My bad.
All right,
Yeah.
whatever.
What are you
It's-
thinking?
Well, for a second, I was thinking the place previous to where you guys are now, where you guys had the Hornets and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, fuck that place. That was a horrible place.
That's why I was like, wait, is it that place that you're referring to?
No, our place we have now is much nicer than that place was.
Yeah, no, it actually was not that big of a pain in the ass to get set up. Like, it was like when I was looking at like the way that you worded it, and that's actually what I had to do. I was just looking at it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to do this and this and this, and then do this and then do this. I'm like, man, it seems like a pain in the ass. And then I realized it was less than 5 minutes, and I was like, all right, that's not bad. But I kept looking for the message for the server, and I'm like, I'm not seeing a message. It says
I went back on there and it actually said that the message didn't send, so I had to resend it.
because I'm like,
It's weird.
wave to him to start the legendary conversation. I'm like, wait, I haven't gotten a message yet. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Now with that though, I should be able to go Xbox. So I'm thinking.
If you do have them linked properly, when you hit that
And then the flat.
Xbox button and tab over to your chat window, it'll say join the Discord server right there. And then you just click on this one or whatever. Discord's way better because it has a ton of noise cancellation and all this shit, so like the chat's clear. There's not like a bunch of echo or fucking feedback. And you could use it cross-platform. So that's pretty cool.
And people can turn off your Xbox.
I've I've got a bad feeling about this.
High audio and no headphones.
Andrew, what did you have your Warframe thing on? PlayStation?
Yeah.
It is a pleasure to serve.
But really,
Ready
you
for
could just
duty.
play from your PS5.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to restart anything.
Yeah. But it's usually like I'm in the bedroom playing on my computer. My wife will be playing World of Warcraft and stuff.
Alright, so for some reason I couldn't like hear you guys on the console. Like I can see that you were chatting and I could see it moving, and then I could hear the other dude in there too. Well, I could see the other dude in there too, but I couldn't hear him.
You hear both of us through your phone the whole time?
Just you.
No, well, I accidentally had Discord. I accidentally had Discord not on because I switched over to Messenger just so I could try and see what your name was, because I was going to send you an invite. But then that minimized Discord, and then for some reason I couldn't hear you.
That's weird, because I always run Discord in the background.
Okay, all right. So I can hear you now, but for some reason when I had another app open, I couldn't hear you, which is kind of weird.
Right.
This is you were disconnected.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. Sorry, looks like you're disconnected.
Okay, that is weird. So, all right, so I'm looking on the Xbox, right?
Yeah.
And it shows the triangle with an exclamation point through it. And it says, sorry, looks like you were disconnected. Try connecting again. Now, it doesn't give the option to reconnect. So should I just disconnect and then reconnect that way?
Maybe, but I'm in my bedroom smoking this right now, so I won't even be able to accept it for a little bit.
So it looks like
Wait a
that.
minute.
So do you have a headset for your Xbox? I guess it really doesn't matter, because we're chatting. My wife's brother pretty much never uses a headset.
He used a headset the other day when I played with him, but I think it was like either it was one of the kids' headsets. And I was like, bro, this headset is fucking trash. It's so fucking quiet.
Kids like to fuck wires up on headsets.
Well, then he realized he could turn it off.
Alright, you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Destroying the floor. The gun's too strong.
Hey, out of curiosity, can you guys hear me?
Yep. Can you hear us?
Alright. Yeah. I can. Alright, so I just hooked up a headset to my phone that technically does not even have a mic, but it's got a mic hooked up into the... I don't know, it's a weird fucking headset. But as long as I can hear you guys like this, then I guess all is good.
Well, no, the purpose of the Discord thing is because if you connect it to your Xbox account, you'll be able to join this server from your Xbox. So you won't need your phone, and you'll be able to hear the game.
Yeah, which is, it's weird. Alright, so I'm on my console. I'm looking, so I pull it up. I go over Pars chat. So under Pars, it says Discord, join the channel, voice channel. So I click that. I see the Flat Earth Project 2.0.
Click that.
Yep, so I click that, and then it brings up general. So I click that.
Click that. And now it should have switched you over to your Xbox. So plug your headset into your Xbox.
Alright, well, see, there lies a temporary issue. And by temporary, I mean until I can get a new controller. So, the console that I got was actually from one of my friends, because he had an Xbox Series X, and he had this one just laying around for a while. So,
Right.
the controller that he had for it, unfortunately, his niece was using, and somehow or another, she ended up destroying the mic port. So he had to tear apart the controller and more or less gut the mic port out. So that controller, unless I can hook up a Bluetooth with it, which I don't have a Bluetooth mic. So unfortunately for me, this is my only option.
Right. I mean, as long as you can hear us, I guess. I don't really. It's however
Yeah.
you want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you guys, so I mean that works for me.
Yeah, and I can hear you just fine. Can you hear the game though?
It's not really a big deal for me. I've played this game so many times that I inherently know what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
I more often than not, I generally have music coming through my headphones. Kind of just jamming out playing the game. So.
Just follow the dot.
Yeah. I mean, if I get a little too stoned and I forget what the fuck I'm doing and I'm not there, just throw, hey, waypoint, get the fuck over here.
Oh wait, no. Working. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette and then I'll jump on.
Alright, so Wayne, you said you didn't have all your pieces yet for your Archwing launcher, is that true still?
Yeah, I don't have all the stuff for it yet.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man.
I have all the actual I have the arc wing. I just don't have the launcher itself.
Alright, so I actually have a spare blueprint, so I know what you need. Alright, so what you're gonna need if you don't already have them is 50 irradiate. I got fish oil, but I don't think I can actually give you the fish oil.
You
can
can't
only
give resources.
yeah, you can only trade the fish.
You can only taxi me to a place where I can get them, but I probably already have like a place. I can go fishing. I just
30
don't.
fish is actually pretty quick. And if you have multiple people there, it's kind of like hunting, where if someone gets it, that's in a close proximity to you, you'll get it as well.
I don't know.
Circus, it's got a pretty low requirement of only 600, so I'm sure you got that. Grokdrol, or however the fuck you pronounce that, can be obtained two pretty easy ways. One is going around and wherever their bases are, generally you'll find that there. Number two, the first two missions there generally give it out, as well as taking you to areas where they'll have it. And irradiate also is a common drop source in those missions as well as where it takes you. So the only one that you really got to spend any time on that can't come naturally through missions and whatnot is fish oil. And again, 30 fish is, I mean, you can actually get that done in like 10, 15 minutes. The bitch of it will be have to wait 20 or the 12 hours or 24 hours, whatever it is, to build it. But I'm telling you, once you get it built though, like if you play like Fortuna or you do any of those open world maps, it is definitely a gotta have.
Yeah, dude. I play with a buddy of mine from, I think, Turtle Point or something like that. But he has the launcher, so he was showing me how much faster Arcwing basically is than trying to fucking run on your.
And dude, and let me tell you, all right, so this is like all right, so I've had experience with this game quite a bit, and the Archwing is pretty fast, but if you got like Volt or you have a Wisp, Wisp is pretty awesome. So like with Volt, what you can do, or Wisp, either way, speed and duration mods. So what you'll do is if you use Volt, like you use your speed mod first, or your speed whatever, and depending on your duration and strength whatnot, as soon as you use that, like generally I have my launcher on like the up, so as soon as I pull up my down menu, I just down and then A. So instantaneously, as soon as I jump, I'm right into my launcher. Once you do that, dude, it's like, if you use Volt or something like that, you move so fucking quick. Like, you can get from one side of the map to the other. And with Wisp, like she has like I used to have Wisp built so that I had something like a 380 strength build on her, and it was
Right.
just fucking gnarly.
There's a faster one now, isn't there?
Yeah,
Titania.
there's yeah, she flies, but
Oh my god, Titania. She like if the Archwing is fast, it is, but Titania doesn't need an Archwing. She is just fast on her own.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, I seen
I'm
a
pretty
video
sure
of her scooting around.
there was like a speed guy. Like the dude was just all fucking speed.
Oh, Bolt, I think, and then
Yeah,
wait,
that's Volt,
there might be
and
another
then
quick dude.
yeah, so like I was saying, that was Volt, and then it's the girl that dropped the Wells.
I'm not sure
I've
who
got a
that
bad
is.
feeling about this.
So let me go here real quick because I used to rock the shit out of it.
I only have like 3 Warframes right now. I'm trying
At
to
the
figure
moment,
out who I want to be my next one. I think Frost.
so Wisp is definitely the one that you want to like work towards getting.
What is fuck, sounded like Chinese or Japanese or something. Wang Goon or
Wukong.
Wugong.
Oh, Wukong is so they've actually nerfed Wukong in the recent patches, but he's still pretty OP. So it used to be that you could maintain like a primary, and then he could use your primary, and so
Right.
essentially it was like having a Spectre, but they worked independently of their own. So like all you had to do was summon them, and then they would pretty much work on their own. And due to his abilities and how he's just built, like you pretty much had more or less 3 ways of dying. So like if you would normally take damage that would normally kill you, it'll burn one of his abilities, and you'll still have like 2 more times you can go down before you're even like looking at your affinity like downs. So in essence, like in a long term mission, Wukong can go down like 7 times before he's like out.
That's pretty cool.
That's another reason I really like Nidus, because like Nidus builds stacks, and
Yeah, so I find that with Nidus, the best missions for me, at least personally, with Nidus are what are they? Infestation missions.
yeah,
Because they stay low to the ground, you don't have to worry about people shooting you, and then they generally tend to come after you pretty rapidly. So it definitely makes it pretty easy for them to group. Octavia is another one that once you learn how to use her, she can go for like days.
I have a via
Saren,
Mac.
once you with Saren, your main things with Saren is that you want to max out your range and max out efficiency, because pretty much you'll be using spores, and she can pretty much annihilate maps just by herself without anyone else being around. Necros is downright my favorite player of all. I still have to grind him out, but he quickly became one of my favorite players just because I find him so versatile. I enjoy playing a supportive role. So with Necros, you have him Desecrate and then Equilibrium. As long as you're killing enemies, they're constantly dropping health. And so health, on the low levels really isn't that big of a deal. But when you start dealing with those guys that have, viral infections on them, that, they got like a green color tinge to them, they're one of those like higher end enemies. Those will mess you up quickly because they go directly for your health. They like bypass your shields completely. So if you ain't got a lot of health on the floor, you'll drop quickly because of one of them if you don't kill them quickly. Whereas Necros, you throw in Desecrate, and I mean, you'll have a floor full of fucking health before you know it. As well as he's one of the few players that'll drop energy pretty consistently. Another good frame that a lot of high-end players use is Korra. She has excellent crowd control abilities. She's got excellent abilities to be able to control the enemies. Also, she has another augment mod that helps with the drops that increase the drop rate. Ivara's good. She's a pain in the ass to get. You have to go through spy missions. You have to get all 3, and you're only guaranteed a chance at it. Oftentimes you'll find that you have to run it like 5 or 6 different times just to get one piece, and you can't run the same map for all 3 pieces. You can only get like certain pieces within like the certain levels. So inevitably you'll have to hit like Sedna and Aries just to get one part. And then Jupiter and Neptune, you know, those planets will have one part. So she can be a pain in the ass to get, but once you get her, you know, you'll have spy missions in the future for like when you're doing sortie missions and whatnot. And one of her abilities allows her to go pretty much invisible. And you throw in one of her augment mods, and she never sets off a trap.
Right on.
Equinox, Equinox is a pain in the ass to farm because you have to get all 3 of her day pieces and all 3 of her night pieces.
I'm trying to remember because okay, yeah, no, I don't think she was in there.
But she can be a pain in the ass to learn how to use, but once you actually get to use her and you learn how to use her abilities, like day and night abilities, awesome player. Citrine was just recently released, so I don't really know a whole lot about them.
Yeah, they were just released like last few weeks.
Somebody was telling me that Neja.
Yeah, Neza.
Super good.
Yeah, she's pretty fun to play too. Mesa is another one that's fun to play too. As well as Mirage. So Mirage has
something that I can just set something down or like release something that just wipes out everybody. And I need to get the freaking plans for the Phantasm too.
That's kind of Saren right there. Saren is kind of one of those, you can kind of just sit in a corner and lay down her abilities and it'll just melt the entire map.
It's the same with Limbo.
Yeah. Revenant's pretty good. He's kind of right up there with, what am I looking at? The big fucking heavy dude. But if Revenant's played right, he's pretty much invincible.
Rhino is too, though. Play him right. You need a lot of energy to do that, though.
So with Limbo, there's one of his abilities, or maybe it's like a mod that I have, but like as long as he stands inside of, as long as he stands inside like his
rift,
like you gain energy. And that goes for like anybody, as long as they're inside of that bubble, like you're getting energy.
Royal Queen has arrived.
Master, we are not alone.
The Royal Queen has arrived. By that I mean
Shit, I accidentally was literally getting ready to send you one.
Yeah. Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and I like seen something pop up and I hit B real quick to get rid of it.
All good. You can go ahead and invite me, man.
Alright, so... Do I do it from the squad invite thing? Or the friend invite?
I guess I'll hop on. I just gotta run back to my house and drop off my shit.
Hey, no?
Rich?
Yeah, what's up?
How do I do it from the squad invite, or do I have to go into like the friend thing?
Alright, so what I do is, in my case, I hit the right trigger, like when you're looking at the map, or when you're looking at the planet, where you'll see invite. And then, because we're on different systems, in my case, I would hit the left stick, or L3, I guess, where it says player name.
It's Slap Out of Ohio.
Well, Wayne only plays with the controller. He's never
I'm
let the
gonna play
mouse
Forza
take away.
Ohio.
Yeah, so there's that. It's true. Not no good, but I just don't prefer it at all. And
then for mine, you would have to type in Rich Manor, capital R, capital M, 9284, pound 938.
Oh, it's fucking being gay. Alright.
James, join me right now or else.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Hey, look at that. There we go.
James, you're really missing out on playing George Clinton in Ohio. James, Drake.
Oh, I already accepted your request, man. I'm already in.
I know, I'm looking at your profile. I thought that was gonna be like a friend request.
Yeah.
You have that leaf thing too. That's pretty cool. I like it.
Let's see.
I have it
This
on mine.
is so. All right. I'm not sure how much you know about elementals in this game, like heat, electric, things like that.
Yeah. I
Okay,
know a
so
little bit.
in this game, there's kind of a meta, and that meta is viral and heat. So I'm not sure if you know how to make viral in this game.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so if you go down to your weapon, feel free to click on any weapon and go to like where you would mod it. So in my case, it'd be Y. And if you go over to the search, kind of like right below your weapon stats and whatnot, or you click L3, it'll bring up your search bar. Now this is where things can get fun, because what you can do is you can type in viral, and then when you type in viral, it should bring up, if you have the mods for it, it should bring up 2 different mods. It should bring up mods for toxin, and it should bring up mods for cold.
Yeah, I have cryo rounds and infected clap.
Okay, so what you want to do
I
is
just
you
got
want to make
back
sure
to
that those 2 mods are right next to each other, like left to right. Not up and down, but left to right.
Okay.
Alright, so once you put those 2 next to each other, you should see an element come out called viral. Now, what you do is go into your weapon stats and then check out what viral is. I'll actually just read it out for you. So it says, created by combining cold and toxin damage, highly effective against Grenier flesh and corpus flesh. Viral status effects increase damage to health up to 325% with multiple stacks for a short time. So the reason that's important is because it bypasses the shields and goes directly to their health.
Right on.
And then the reason that heat is important is because heat status effect sets enemies on fire, causing them to panic and temporarily reducing their armor up to 50% with multiple stacks. So, for the most part, that is pretty much what you're going to have on the majority of your weapons.
What Y are you at?
Because that is pretty much what's going to like melt most of your enemies. And you want to try and have like, all right, so it all depends on the weapons
Okay, hold
that
up
you use.
before we get too crazy. So with heat, serration, would that work?
Yeah.
Okay, and then
What
do I want to put
serration
that
does?
like in the line with them also, or no?
So that doesn't really matter. So what serration does? Serration is a base damage multiplier. Or a base, yeah, so it's a base damage multiplier. Now here's where the funny thing
I
is.
had molten touch, but I don't see it anymore.
So like, alright, so in my case, alright, so did you see the one that I just sent you right there? The link?
What, did you send it on Facebook?
Nope, nope, if you open your chat.
Oh, okay.
In-game chat.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
You'll see a link. It should say mod configuring broken war.
See, I just got Molten Impact, but it's not showing up.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
we
when you're looking at the mods, is it showing like, are any of them showing red? Besides like probably Gladiator might. Because if it shows red,
I don't have
then it
all that
means
many of them yet.
Okay.
But I swear to God though that I did unlock Molten Touch the other day, or today actually, earlier today, and I don't know where the hell that went. And I have most of the other mods that you just mentioned. Am I supposed to be looking at my weapons or my warframe?
For what part?
For this mod setup that you're showing me.
So that would be on your weapons. You can't mod like, alright, so you can mod your warframe, but not for like key and things like that. Like you
Gotcha.
you
Right.
can't mod it for elemental reasons.
Gotcha.
I don't have a dog.
Yeah, I don't. I must have not gotten it. I thought I did though. I don't have the molten touch or molten impact or whatever it is. What
Okay,
about
well that.
electricity? Should I throw that on there?
Now, are you looking? Are you looking on your primary, or are you looking on your like
This
melee
is
weapon?
my primary.
Okay, so if you're looking on your primary, it's not going to be called that. So on your primary, it's going to be called Hellfire.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I know I don't. I didn't get that yet. So what about Stormbringer? Should I use that?
So if you actually look, so if you actually put two different elemental mods right next to each other, you'll
Yeah.
see that you actually create different elements.
Yeah, I seen
Now,
that. Where it says
so
fire.
in the long run, different enemies are weak to different elements. When you want to get into the real technical part.
Right.
So, for example, infested, because the infested do not have armor, they only have heat, or they just mainly have their health. That is where you're going to find that fire is one of their main weaknesses. Now, once you start getting into the higher levels, they do inevitably start getting armor. So in that situation, what you would actually need is a corrosive element, and corrosive elements are created by using let's see, it is created by using toxin and then electricity.
Okay, so let me check something real quick here.
Yeah, like I said, man, there is so much in this game. Like, like, unfortunately, I know so much.
Bam, there it is, and it kept the viral. Ah, gotcha. Thank you. That makes things. Okay, so what I did is I put a Stormbringer next to Infected, and then on the other side of Infected, I put Cryo-Res, and it gave me the viral and corrosive.
Okay, so in the long run, while pressure point and all right, so in the case of using the primary, what would it be? Let's say, what is it?
If it splits it like that, does it make one weaker?
No, it actually. So you'll see two different numbers, right? So in my case, if I'm bringing up Broken War, just the one that I sent you, so it would show that viral, again, this is just on my case, is at 740, and he is at 370. So what that means is when it attacks an enemy, it's going to do 740 points of damage of viral, with 370 points of heat stacked on top of it. So, like, when you look at your damage, it actually tells you how everything is actually calculated. So, again, this is the case in my Broken War, and purely for my Broken War. So, again, my total damage is 1,552. Now, how that's calculated is that it does 41 points of impact damage, 41 points of puncture damage, 329 points of slash damage. So, again, now this is getting a little bit more into the advanced side. So when you start looking at a weapon like that and you see that it's got impact, puncture, and slash. Now, when you see that impact and puncture are both at 41 points respectively, and slash is at 329, this should tell you that this weapon primarily deals slash damage. So ideally, what you would build this weapon for is you would look for your mods, and you would look for any mods if you have any. I don't think I have any at this moment either. But you would look for any mods that do like slash damage. So in my case, I happen to have one. It's Relentless Combination. So it'd be like plus 25% chance to increase melee counter whenever slash damage deals damage. So essentially, if I was to run this, because my weapon mainly does slash damage, whenever I hit an enemy, it would stack damage on top of that. So that's part of it, and then heat adds in 370, and then viral adds in 740. Now, a lot of that is also because I have pressure point on there, which is 120% melee damage. And if I drop that out, it actually drops me down to 691 points of base damage. Now,
Right on.
again, now this is a little bit more onto the advanced side. So when it comes to basic modding, and your basic star chart, pressure point, again, this is just for melee because I'm looking at my melee weapon. Pressure point it'll work for your normal star chart. But once you complete the star chart, you'll get into the steel path. And steel path enemies are, compared to right now, like these enemies are like kittens compared to steel path enemies. And when it comes to steel path enemies, you have to know how to build your weapon. Like you're not just inevitably you're not going for pure out raw damage. You're trying to actually have a specific build. So in my case with my Broken War, I could see that it had so if I go over to a configure beat where I don't have any mods, it has a base critical chance of 35% and a status percent of 20%. Now, compared to most weapons, that is extremely high. But with seeing that and seeing that it had a 35% base critical chance, I wanted to up that critical chance as much as I could. So I ended up having a mod, let's see here, it's True Steel. So it's 120% critical chance. So that bumped me up to 77. And then I looked and I saw that my multiplier, which is critical hit damage, is multiplied by this value. The added damage is doubled for big critical hits, orange, and tripled for super critical hits, red. Now, in order to get a orange crit, which is double damage, you have to exceed 100% critical chance. Now, you can actually get that, but that comes with attaining certain mods and whatnot. So, like, another thing that I did is I looked at my critical multiplier, and like I said, it was 2.2. And I had another mod that was like Organ Cider. So it was 9% or critical damage. And then because I knocked out some missions on Fortuna, I got Gladiator Might. And Gladiator Might is 60% critical damage, along with 10% critical chance per combo multiplier. So like when you're using your melee weapon and you've got like just a horde of enemies, and you're looking on the right hand side and you see like 3 times 50, 60, whatever, that is your critical chance just stacking up with this mod. So inevitably, I can get to the point where my weapon is doing, has like 150, 160% critical chance. So I'm guaranteed to get a critical chance with every single, swap. And as well, I have a 38% critical status chance. So that means that 38% of the time, I'm also going to be impacting with the status chances of being both heat and viral. Now, this is where it gets more advanced, is like pressure point. Again, like I was saying, on a normal star chart, pressure point is perfectly fine. But what you're really inevitably going to be doing is you're going to be modding your weapons towards a certain faction. So like you can see they got like configuration A, B, and C. So what I inevitably do, like as I get later into the game, is I'll have one configuration that's set up purely for infested, another configuration that's set up purely for like Grenier, and then another one that's going to be purely set up for like Ancients or whatever. Because each build will have not only like different effects, because they'll be, like Corpus. They have a lot of shields, and you'll get nullifiers, which are those guys with the big blue shields around them. Well, one of their main weaknesses is magnetic. But, magnetic, while great against them, isn't the greatest against infested. So, when you start getting to the later rounds and things like that, you really got to start building your weapon specifically for what you're going for. And then that's where points where pressure point becomes no longer really useful. Because at that point, what you're actually going to be doing is you're actually going to be using, what do they call them? Faction mods. So like in the case of my melee, if I was going against Grenier enemies, instead of running pressure point, I would be running Smite Grenier. Because that gives me +5, as a base, it's +5 damage, plus 5% damage to Grenier. Which in the long run actually benefits pressure point, because it's actually a multiplicative value. Like dude, I actually had to read a lot on Reddit and then go under wiki and things like that. But there's a lot to it.
Have you ever considered making YouTube tutorials about this shit? Because you just explained a lot right there.
Well, that's
Like,
what I'm saying, man. Like, this game has such a fucking high learning curve to it, and it's like, how do I tell someone without like over fucking like bombarding you?
no, I get you. I get you. I was to say, like, your fucking knowledge on how this works is pretty beast mode. Like, I didn't know that if you lined up your perks like that, they would, or your mods, I mean, that they would create
Yeah.
other fucking.
Yeah, so the game goes left to right, top to bottom. So like if you were to try and create viral, and you only had like a top space and a bottom space below it free, you know, and you already had the other ones built in, you would have to shuffle other mods around to be able to get viral in that area that you want. Which is why inevitably when you start like formal weapons, or most people call them potatoing, but polarizing is technically the proper word in game.
Yeah,
But once
I
you start
know.
polarizing weapons, you'll see that yeah, you get a huge benefit, and that you know you can stack more mods in there, you know, and you can definitely get more use out of it.
Right.
But at a certain point, you're gonna get better weapons, so you kind of have to figure how much investment you really want to put into them right now. So like that's why like with the Broken War, like I intentionally stopped doing the map chart for a while, and I was just going to like Cetus on Earth, and I was just knocking out like the first two missions down there, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until I got, you know, like all right, so one of the mods that I got while I was down there, and it's a great mod. They're the vigilante mods, and so the vigilante mods, there's 6 of them. Once you get all 6, it gives you a 30% chance to enhance critical hits from your primary weapon. So it can take, you know, a weapon that normally might do 35,000 damage in crit and knock it up to like 80,000. So I mean, it becomes very important to get those mods, but you know, it all depends on how you build. And then the other ones were auger mods. So with auger mods, what they do is whenever you use an ability, so in my case, a Volt. I love using Volt mainly because I like using melee weapons.
Right.
So with a speed boost, you know, it helps with melee. So in my case, because I'm constantly using it every 50 seconds, and I got 2 of them on there, it's 80% energy spent on abilities is converted to shields. So, you know, it kind of helps me, you know, be able to run more, you know, and it's kind of like helps with my longevity.
Yeah, keeps you alive. I get you.
So, I mean, like, this is like a nothing. This is still like nothing in my eyes compared to where my accounts could be. But for right now, that's kind of like where I'm at with him.
Right on. I'm master rank 5, and I don't know. It's
But if you want, we can actually start farming those supplies that you need to get that build.
I would need an Awoken Catalyst. Actually, more than that, because that's a 70 build, and the Awoken Catalyst I think would only get me to a 60.
For which one? Volt?
I don't know, whatever build you sent me.
Oh, Broken War. So Broken War I actually got from a quest, and once you finish that quest, let me figure out which quest that was very quick. I had to complete one of the junctions in order to get it. Let me see here.
I still have to. Run between Europa and Jupiter right now.
Okay, so the quest where you'll get that, is called the Second Dream. Oh, another thing. codex. I'm not sure how much you've used your codex. But that codex, I'm telling you, is amazing. Like it is so useful.
What do you mean by using the codex?
Okay, so
I might
go
have
up to,
used
like,
it, but I'm not
so
saying.
like when you go up to the front of your ship, before you hit the, all right, in my case X, hit X navigation. If
Hold
you
on,
back up a little bit,
just to make it easy on you.
here,
I
let me.
use an Xbox controller also when I'm playing, so I have the same exact buttons as you.
Oh, okay. All right, so when you get up to the top of your ship, you'll see an area on your left. All right, so on your right-hand side, you have the market.
Market, and then the other side is
On the
that
left-hand
the
side, you
codex
have your
code.
codex. Okay,
Oh
so
yeah,
if you
that tells you what you need to do to get the quests that you're talking.
yeah, all right. So the quest that I did in order to get that weapon is the second dream. Now, more than likely, you have to unlock a node. You'll have to complete a junction in order to do that.
Second dream quest is a prerequisite to that quest. So that would mean I'm probably pretty close to being able to do that.
More than likely.
Okay, now let me check my. Because it's more than likely this junction. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, it already came. Show me that one. Huh.
So another great thing is while you're in your codex, if you hit the R1, it'll bring you over to the universe within the codex.
Yeah. Right.
On the top right, you'll see mods. Now, if you scroll in there, it'll actually now there will be some mods where it'll say undiscovered and it'll show you just like a bunch of question marks. You haven't discovered.
I'm having a problem with my codex right now because I'm. Okay, now it's doing what you're talking about. Okay. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. So if you go over to if you hit R1, go to the universe, and where you'll see mods. Some of the mods will have a bunch of question marks on them. That's just because you haven't unlocked the area yet, or you haven't unlocked
I have
You
ones
haven't
that
unlocked
are
the node.
dark out.
Yep. But you'll see a lot that are darked out. But the great
Oh,
thing is that it'll tell you where you can actually find them.
There's so many.
What is this? A use float for you?
That's awesome.
See it?
Oh, I see what you're talking about. The ones that are darked out are just all question marks.
May experience.
Okay.
We got the desert one. That one's in vanilla.
What
So
about
if
that anyway?
So if you're ever trying to find a mod or something like that, or you're trying to get like a specific build, right? Like say you jump onto Warframe or the Warframe wiki, and it's like, hey, try and go for this build, but you know that you don't have that mod. You can come over here and check it out, and it'll tell you kind of where to go.
And I will get the cactus because I know how to make a cactus.
Yeah, like Saffron Suda or the Parian sequence. Or Parian or whatever. Parian.
You'll die before then.
Okay. I have to get the rest of the map unlocked before I'll be able to really dive into all that. That's pretty awesome. So, question. Is there a faster way to get field drawn? Like, other than buying it?
To get what?
Because I want to build the Helios. Okay, so I'm in a clan that has everything already, like, figured out.
Yeah.
So I bought the blueprints for the Helios, but I need 10 Fieldren. And I know if you use Fieldren samples and mix it all up with a shit, you can get a blueprint.
Alright, so
field run, and that takes 12 hours or 24 hours. So I'm saying, is there a faster way to get there?
Yes and no, sadly.
Really
Alright, so there's two ways of going about it. One is consistent, but it's not necessarily fast. The other is hit or miss. I like there's no easy way, but there are ways to get more. So, alright, if you hit the R1, alright, so if you go to navigation and you bring up the star chart
Alright.
and you hit R1, you're gonna want to hit it, I think, 4 times. Either way, you're gonna want to make you're gonna want to make your way over to invasions.
Okay. I see.
So, in my case, I have Ceres, Phobos, Jupiter, and Mars. So if you actually look at this, right, and alright, so I'm gonna click
I see
on.
field run and detonite injectors.
Yeah, exactly, right. So what you'll do is you'll go to one of those missions, right. So if you need field run, right.
Yeah.
So you would go over to there, and you would click. All right. So we'll just knock this out. So if you need it, we'll knock it out.
Okay. I need 10.
So okay. So for this, you're only gonna get 3, but we gotta knock this mission out 3 different times.
No, that's awesome though, because I was like, fuck, I don't want to have to wait.
Like,
sorry.
Inevitably, you will have to wait, because they're not given out instantaneously. It's.
I mean, that's fine, but it's 10 days the other way.
Yeah.
Pleasure doing business with you.
And that's another reason why I use Bolt.
This is gonna be like 80 times faster than me. I don't even know where the hell to go now.
Okay. Just look for the big green part of it.
Give me your games. Oh, I didn't get the final hit. Yeah, I got yellow. I got you yellow. You put this James. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
You're staying away from me.
Sorry, Rhino's just not that agile, you know.
Yeah, so you'll see on the left where it says Corpus Invasion Series, 1 out of 3 for Corpus. So in order to actually be able to get the reward, you have to complete it 3 different times.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Still, though, I'd rather do that 3 times.
Again, the reason why I like Volt is because I enjoy being able to speedrun missions.
I know you do it from the last time we played. I was like, alright, I'm learning, I'm running around killing. You're like, no, bro, just look. Alright, this is how you move around. Like, what you're doing is gonna piss people off. I'm like, okay, gotcha.
It's like, you can run through it, but you're gonna take a minute.
So what do you think I should spend platinum on, since you're like an actual expert, pretty much? I have about 900, but I don't want to just buy shit that
the rule of thumb is, if you're gonna spend it, like, you spend it on things that are extremely hard to get, such as like certain warframes. Another rule of thumb is that you don't buy a warframe with your plat until you have a market sale. So, as you log in on different daily rewards and whatnot, inevitably, sooner or later, you will get one that you have for like 25% off, 50% off, and even as much as up to 70%.
Yeah, I already bought 50% off. I bought the $25 one, which is normally the $50 one. So I got 1,000 flat out of that.
No. So what I mean is, all right. So you'll maybe you'll get something else like that too. but inevitably, what you'll actually do when you see those signs come up that say 50% off or whatever, that's where you want to go into like your warframes, like how you choose which warframe you want to use, and you'll see a percentage sign off. So like a frame that normally costs 400, you'll see it says 200. In a situation like that, that's where like I definitely recommend like you start getting frames, and you get ones that are definitely like more a pain in the ass to get. So like one that is definitely a big pain in the ass to get is Ash. And the main reason that he becomes a pain in the ass is because of the things, it's how you gotta farm him. Like you have to go out into space. You'll inevitably get a railjack. Oh, actually, that would be a great thing to save up for. So,
Railjack.
yeah, inevitably as you progress through the game. I mean, I'm not even at that point yet.
My buddy, yeah, I was doing Railjack missions with a buddy of mine.
But you'll inevitably get to the point where you'll have to have a railjack, as well as a necromerc suit. So
I
my
already have the blueprints
oh,
for all of it. I just have to kind of do it.
yeah, I mean, my suggestion would just be buy one. It'll save you a lot of grinding.
We'll see.
That's what I did.
Those
Like,
are
so
expensive, though. That's gonna use like all my plat on one thing.
yeah, when I had 800 plat, I bought two things with it. One with my railjack because I don't know. Actually, I grinded out my railjack because I wasn't that bad. But I did buy my necromerc suit though, just because, well, I didn't want to have to grind it all out.
Okay, good enough.
I just need 2 pieces of cobblestone.
She paid for the, well, my buddy Dane, I keep mentioning, that plays also, he got the combo of the railjack and the necromech suit. For
Yeah, it's
like
a good.
600 or 700.
It's a good one to get. That I can guarantee you will save you several hours of grinding.
Okay, does anybody have a...
Well, here's another thing too, is I actually want to get to the point where I have like a beast suit so that I can go get like a ton of the fucking relics so that I can do the missions where I break them all open and get a bunch of fine shit so I can sell it and make hundreds of platinum. That's the loop I kind of want to get myself into so that I can constantly be buying like shit and not have to pay for it.
I have a shit ton of relics, but I can't open them.
You gotta get Fisher.
I mean, alright. So there's.
And then there's relic missions where you can literally just crack the relics playing.
If you knew that you were going to be buying more plat within, I'll say, the next 3 months, then there is one thing that I would definitely recommend. But the downside is that it is costly. So there is a actually it's a quadruple booster out there. I think it's close to 600 or 700 plat. But what it does is it gives you 3 months of boosters, affinity boosters, credit boosters, resource double chance booster. I mean, it's so. All right, you know how when you crack relic and you get, I'm just gonna say, we'll call it 20, 25 traces, whatever. That would double your void traces up to 50. So it doubles all items that you get. So any credits that you get, you would get double that. I mean,
Wait, so do you get double the relics when you grind it?
No, unfortunately, relics are like a time base, a level based reward, however you want to call that. It's a rotational reward. So those
I thought about doing the resource booster for 30 days. It's like 200.
I hope you didn't let the dead bother you here.
I mean,
then I have to like guarantee that I'm gonna play for
yeah,
30.
that's right. I mean, I play often enough that if I had, like, because I'm starting over again on this account, that if I had the money to buy 900 plat or whatever, I mean, it's gonna be a while because I checked out the fucking plat prices and it's like 20. It's like $20 just for like 300 plat. So, but
That's
that was
why I
also
went with the ones when it was 50% off, and I got the